Welcome to this week's episode of the 3-Point Play. This week's sports focus, the battle is over. Father Time has won. Tim Duncan officially announces his retirement, arguably the best player of this NBA generation. To the left of me, I have the great Aaron, and to the right, the legendary Jordan. Aaron, Tim Duncan retiring. How do you feel about it?
It's a little upsetting. I mean, we knew it was all coming, but just the realization of it happening is like, wow, because I think it's safe to say when we started watching the NBA, Duncan was playing, as well as Kobe. Like, we saw a nice part of their career.
Yeah.
And to see these two greats retire is just, like, crazy. It's a little unfortunate, but I'm happy that they finished their career.
Yeah, I mean...
And they had a very nice career as well.
Very different ways to go out, that's for sure.
For sure.
Jordan, how do you feel about Tim Duncan retiring?
Well, he's definitely going to be someone that we're all going to miss watching him play after 19 seasons. Same goes for Kobe. We're going to miss him getting those clutch shots in.
Oh, over Shaq.
Yeah.
And, well, everyone knew it had to come to an end sometime, and I'm glad it ended the way it did.
Yeah. When you think of Tim Duncan, what are you going to remember?
Well, you're not going to remember much if you're going to compare him to Kobe.
Yeah.
Duncan is not someone who speaks up that much.
Yeah, well, very quiet individual.
It hasn't taken any endorsements, hasn't done any commercials.
At least very few.
Not any I know of, but well, meanwhile Kobe signs with everybody he can get his hands on.
Yeah.
Does plenty of commercials. I think I just saw a commercial with him with Ben Simmons.
Really?
Was it Ben Simmons?
No.
Oh,
you had the Ghostbusters commercial though.
Yes.
Ghostbusters.
The Ghostbusters commercial.
Very recent.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, do you think that's because? I'll throw this over to you, Aaron. How much of the market do you think played into it, and how much is it that them just as talent, as players, different players?
Kobe played in L.A.
Yeah, Showtime.
Yeah, he played in Hollywood. Like, he had everything in the palm of his hands.
Yeah.
As opposed to Tim Duncan, who played in San Antonio, which is a very small market.
Right.
But what was very fitting is that Tim Duncan was so humble throughout his entire career, how he was very team-oriented, where it became, when Kobe came on the scene, it was like, okay, it's my team, I have to do it, watch me do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean... Now that they're both retired, Tim Duncan playing 19 years, Kobe Bryant playing 20, the question's obviously going to come up who the best player of their generation was. Who do you think it was?
I think it's going to be Kobe, in my opinion, because everybody, not many people grow up to be 7 feet tall. Granted, not many people grow up to be 6'6", but you have a better chance of growing up to be like a guard height as opposed to a center.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to play like a guard, and everybody loves to play like Kobe.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to take those shots.
Yeah, but he's a Chuck.
Yeah, that's like today's generation.
He doesn't shoot the way, efficiently.
The past 2 seasons, not really, but throughout his career, he was solid.
Listen, he'll take 82 game winners, make 3, and everyone will say, "Oh my God, he's so clutch."
That's inaccurate.
It's not at all.
Yeah, it is.
Not even close.
It's very clutch.
Meanwhile, Tim Duncan actually wins games in a point where he doesn't have to take a clutch shot.
They both have 5 championships, though.
Tim Duncan is definitely the better player. He's called the big fundamental for a reason. He knows where to put his body. He blocks shots, rebounds, does everything he's supposed to do as a big man.
I think Tim Duncan had a better team career because every time he was on the court, throughout the 19 seasons that he played, they always made the playoffs. As opposed to Kobe, where he had subpar years where they didn't make the playoffs sometimes, or they were just like the 7th or 8th seed.
He had Shaq.
I'm saying after Shaq. I'm saying after Shaq, when he became more on the scene, where he dropped 30 and 35 and 82, 81, where he dropped big numbers, and everybody was like, "Wow."
He still had a good team.
He had Smush Parker and Kwame Brown. How is that a good team?
Did they make the playoffs?
Barely. They were the 8th seed.
So that's not good.
That's what I'm saying.
So where's his talent there?
No, individually. He was the talent.
Well, that leads us obviously to the next question. How much do we think that, they both have 5 championships, Kobe getting their 1 extra time. How much do we think that's based on the team, and how much do we think it's based on the individual player? I'll throw it off to you first, Jordan.
He has Shaq. He's the most dominant player in the league. Those are easy rings. I think anyone, a monkey, could have played instead of Kobe, and they still would have won. Well, maybe not a monkey.
A zebra, maybe.
Maybe not a monkey.
A giraffe so you could throw easy lobs to?
Oh, no, yeah.
Put the most basic player, shooting guard, instead of Kobe, and they'd still make the finals.
Wow.
I don't believe that at all.
In those West teams, I mean...
So when Shaq had Wade...
Shaq, yeah.
Was it Shaq?
Was it Shaq or was it Wade?
It's both.
Not in that
Why
finals.
is that both, though?
It's both Kobe and Shaq, obviously.
So why would you take it away from him just because he played with Shaq? I mean, Tim Duncan...
They got the championship.
Tim Duncan had David Robinson.
I'm not saying that they would win the championship.
Let's throw it to Aaron, though. I mean, Aaron, what
Kobe.
about the team that Tim Duncan had?
Tim Duncan always had phenomenal teams.
Yeah.
He always had he always had teams that were always 50-plus wins. And especially they have phenomenal, scouts.
Or maybe you think throughout his entire career being on the same team, he would make them look good?
They both were on the... What do you mean? They're both on the same team for 19 to 20 years.
Kobe doesn't make anyone look good.
Rings talk.
Yeah. Shaq talks.
Career talks.
Andrew Bynum and Pau Gasol talk. And Lamar Odom talk.
Bynum used to ride that bench, though, in the fourth quarter. Bynum wasn't that big of a factor in those finals. He had a nice run, but in the fourth quarter, it was always Lamar Odom playing the 4 and Pau playing the 5.
It doesn't matter. You help out 3 quarters. That's you know.
But regardless of the fact, Kobe always had the shots. Kobe's had the game-winning shots.
He always took the game-winning shots, which makes him more likely to get the game-winning shots.
If you're
going to make 20% of game-winning shots, that doesn't make you a clutch player or a good player even.
I want to call it 20%.
But whatever it is, I don't think it's that high.
Well, listen, Aaron, I mean, we asked Jordan this. What are you going to remember most about not only Tim Duncan, but the Black Mamba also?
Black Mamba. Just... What's great about Kobe is just, he always had a motive on why he had to, attack the rim and, looking to score.
Yeah, always proving doubters wrong.
Always proving doubters wrong. He always had an agenda on his mind where he had to dominate and put on a show just so he could prove that he wasn't just, playing with Shaq to make him look great.
Right.
Let me put a point on that since you just mentioned it. A lot of people say he's better than Duncan right off the bat just because he's a more vocal player, shows emotions, he's just more popular. When people take shots in a garbage can, they say Kobe. Duncan doesn't have that on him. He's the one taking shots. People don't care about the guy getting the rebounds and the blocks, doing the little things on the team. They want the guy who's going to be Mr. Primetime, highlight reel. That guy.
And that was Kobe.
That's why even I would think he's better, but I actually think Duncan is the better player. No disrespect to Kobe.
Okay. Well, I mean, thinking about it though, when these arguments do come up, it comes down to individual performance. Not necessarily is that the right thing, but when we talk about who's the best player, who's the top 10, it's never about the team, it's more about the player. Mm-hmm. Do you think when it comes, now that both these careers are done, do you think that argument works against Tim Duncan, or because he wasn't as vocal, he wasn't as flashy, that actually enhances him in top 10 discussions?
Well, real analysts would say he's the best player of all time. Best power forward of all time.
Yeah.
He is the GOAT of that position.
But, some people don't see it, and they would just say, I guess they would put him in the top 10.
Yeah.
But
would you put it?
But they would put Kobe over him for sure.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
That's true.
What do you think about that?
I agree with Jordan on that one because even though Duncan is the greatest power forward to ever walk on the court, Kobe is only second to Jordan, and Jordan is the GOAT.
Yeah.
So you have to remember that it's tough being behind Jordan, but he had a phenomenal career. And everybody looks at Kobe like, oh, he's totally top 10 based off his career. Due to the fact that he was always in the media, he was just known everywhere, even globally. Mm-hmm. Posters in China, everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, Mamba. Black Mamba. You see it. Ghostbusters commercials now.
Yeah.
We know movies are coming. That just has to happen. We can't wait to see it. Definitely will miss Tim Duncan though. I mean, that humble face. That type of personality is just something that you don't see in NBA players that much today, and definitely will be missed. I think that's easy to say.
Agreed.
Well, thank you everyone for watching. As always, please let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to tweet us, subscribe to us, and I think that's going to wrap it up. We'll miss you both. See ya. Hey everyone, thanks for watching as always. Please let us know what you think in the comments. This week's focus question: who do you think had the better career, Tim Duncan or Kobe? Let us know. Tweet at us. Subscribe on YouTube. See ya.
Thanks.